Redfall is the biggest disappointment of 2023. Yes, even more disappointing than Forspoken or Atomic Heart or the lackluster early access launch of Sons of the Forest or even the disappointing Destiny 2 Lightfall campaign. I could wax lyrical for hours about how Forspoken is a dead open world design with boring enemies propped up by meager combat that's at least pretty, or how Atomic Heart is some weird Soviet propaganda machine with a pointless open world and a cringy main character. But none of that will still touch just how flat Redfall manages to fall on its necrotic ass. Welcome back from a long hiatus from the channel. I'm Guns, and this is my review of Redfall. Every video game needs three main things to be successful. They need good gameplay, environments, and storytelling. What is or is not considered a good environment or storytelling can wildly shift based on creative vision, and some things are more appreciated than others. But gameplay is gameplay, and it's the largest fundamental of any game. It's why I don't consider things like Life is Strange actual video games. To me, they are digital comic books with a create-your-own-adventure twist. Redfall manages to be devoid of all three of these characteristics, yet is still somehow in a playable state. Let's start with the easiest thing to dismiss, the storytelling. The only actual storytelling in this game happens via the comic book-like slideshows and the still images that are rendered in-engine. While the voice acting most of the time is passable, there is never a moment that a voice actor could put any passion into their character or their role, and I would notice, because it has no impact at any point. And that's it. That's all the storytelling that there is. There is nothing else that there is to talk about when it comes to the storytelling in this game. And no, I don't consider the 100+ notes that are littered across the environment storytelling. If I wanted to read a book, I would go get a book, and I have several that are on my list that can probably deliver better storytelling than Redfall is managing to do here. Video games are supposed to be interactives, not novels. It's very clear that Arcane forgot that right here. Environments. Redfall is probably the fastest I have ever recognized just how much assets were being repeated or copy-pasted throughout the game. There's like maybe 4 cars in total in these empty parking lots, the exact same ATV over and over again, and like 1 truck, which has an oil spill on it constantly. The same record label and fishing store I see on repeat that you can walk into, and there's tons and tons of other offenders. The inside of vampire nests have been the same ever since the first one, over and over again, to the point that they feel like it's just a repeating maze of bullshit. Most developers do minor things to trick your brain into recognizing the patterns not being reused over and over again, like changing the lighting or flipping the asset 180 degrees. Not Redfall. You will see the same things very quickly. Even the guns. White rarities in guns look the same as their purple counterparts. And don't even get me started on the stat system on the guns, because quite frankly there is no source in the game that gives you any understanding of it, so it's kind of pointless to discuss what those stats even mean. The gameplay. Firstly, the gameplay experience is much better on PC than it is on console, and I'm not just saying that trying to be like, ooh, PC overlord. The only reason I would argue it's better on PC is because of how much easier it is to aim at these erratic enemies on mouse and keyboard than it is controller, especially without the aim assist. But even still, on PC, the aiming feels floaty and non-responsive at the best of times, and horribly laggy during others. I'll use this point to say that the game is always online, even in single player. I don't know if that has anything to do with whether it feels laggy or not, but I think it's an important thing to bring up. Performance issues are everywhere on PC, and the best you're going to get out of your console experience is 30 FPS because there is no performance mode for the game currently. while this will be patched in at a later date, to not launch with it kind of feels like a big warning sign for the performance in general of this game. The gameplay itself is devoid of any fun. Every enemy that you shoot or fight is simply just shoot them, and you either one-tap them in the head or you shoot them 5 times up close with a shotgun, because there are no interesting mechanics. There's no weak spots, there's no damage types, there's no weapon swapping, none of that. Just erratically buggy vampires whose main mechanic is to teleport around you wildly, and believe me, it works in confusing you, or human AI that just stand there and shoot you with ineffective guns from 50 feet away until you recognize somebody's making a sound at you from some distance and you quickly end their miserable AI existence. And that's it. That's all I have to talk about this game. That should show you just how devoid this game is of any fun. I couldn't even stretch this video out to 10 minutes to hit the ad revenue mark for YouTube's algorithm because it just wasn't worth it. In summary, Redfall is a game Arcane should be ashamed of. After delivering us things like Prey and Dishonored, and even though I personally did not like Deathloop, the quality of that game was far beyond anything Redfall could dream of being. To be asking $70 for this is criminal. What disappoints me the most is that I came back reviewing this game in particular because I thought it would be interesting in some way. It would carry some of that Arcane intrigue or storytelling or environmental design, and it's just completely devoid of all of it. It is a painfully disappointing game every second I had to play, and I didn't even finish it. I only put about 15 hours in before I just could not stomach it anymore and uninstalled it entirely. Not only that, but Microsoft needed a big win from this game because they have no other first-party titles coming out this year except for Starfield. And that game's going to be a buggy mess at launch. If it's a buggy mess and it's bad, things are going to be looking pretty dire for Microsoft. I would have spent more time on this review, but seeing how devoid this game is of any kind of substance or gameplay, it was really hard to find stuff to talk about and not just say it's bad and you should stay away, because that's honestly the majority of the game. It's bad and you should stay away. Hopefully we'll have something worthwhile to talk about towards the end of the month with the few other big titles releasing, and Diablo 4 will definitely give us something interesting to talk about, as I suspect parts of that game will be fantastic and there might be some lackluster things. That's all from me. I'm Guns. Thank you for watching this review, and hopefully this is the start of a lot more content on this channel once again. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.